Show. Hi, I'm Faisal Karmali. Welcome to Karmali Exchange. Business owners need to help each other out. Keep on pushing to meet the needs of the customer will meet the needs of the business. Welcome to Karmali Exchange. Yep, I'm wearing my biker jacket. Well, it's a change for me, of course. We'd love to feature the entrepreneurs who turn their passions into profit, and our guest today, Joseph J.D. Dubois, navigated the twists and turns of steering a business fueled by his passion. He's the founder and president of Freedom Biker Tours, a Canadian company redefining motorcycle tourism with this unique throttle therapy experiences. JD overcame 2 life-changing motorcycle accidents and went on to build an international motorcycle tour brand. JD's story is one of resilience, passion, and a deep love for the open road. Welcome to the show, JD.
Thank you, Faisal.
This is so exciting. I really want to understand what you've gone through when it came to these motorcycle accidents in a quick, 30-second clip. I know I'm not doing enough service for you on this one, but what did you go through?
Well, trauma. I went through trauma. And that's what, throttle therapy is all about. It's people that have turned to riding motorcycles for the healing and therapeutic benefits of riding motorcycles. It could be any kind of trauma, emotional, financial, physical. The trauma I went through with both accidents obviously was part physical, right, and emotional, and some financial trauma as well. So it's a 3-shot.
When you go through a trauma in multiple facets, you have to face a lot of your fears, and then you start up the Freedom Biker Tours. And how did you do that with all these challenges of all this fear and stuff that's going on?
I've gone to school 3 times. I have 3 post-secondary accreditations, including a master's degree in tourism management. Right. And one of the things I learned through all that education was the acronym FEAR: face everything and rise.
Nice.
Right?
Gotcha.
So that really is kind of a foundation of, facing your fears, not necessarily conquering them, but embracing them and learning from them and adapting to them and growing.
So how the hell did you do that? I can only imagine going through what you went through and then saying, fuck it, I'm going to start this. Literally, that's a lot of intestinal fortitude to turn around and go through a fear like that. So what was the trigger that said, okay, I got to do something about this and turn it into biker tours?
Well, the first accident was in 2012, and it wasn't that dramatic, but I broke a couple of ribs and I cut my collarbone right in half, and it hurt a lot. And then a year later, at the same time, I told my ex-wife that I wanted a divorce, and I started the master's degree all at the same time.
Oh.
And when I was sitting at Royal Roads University with the professors and my classmates in the first residency there, and they were explaining the program to us, and they said, okay, you have a choice of a couple of different things in the last module to, whether you do a full graduate research project or a combination of some internship and a smaller project. Does anybody know what they want to do? And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they said, what do you want? I said, I want to do something about motorcycle tourism. And one of the profs rides. And he said, man, that is the coolest topic. No one's ever done anything like that.
Nice.
And that's kind of where it all started, was, the 1.5 year labor of love of all that research for that paper is where it really, I've been riding my whole life.
Right.
But that research connected the dots for me.
Okay.
And I really started to understand what I was feeling and experiencing and why.
So cool. JD, when I look at my business, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my past that's kind of shaped the way I've run my business with my business partner. And one was the influence of my father, positive and negative, at that piece. Your father was a World War II veteran, 30 years with the Canadian
30 years, Royal Canadian Air Force, 1940 to 1970. Pilot, and then he got into operations later and got out of flying. I was actually born on an airbase in Germany.
Damn.
When he was over there with NATO for 5 years.
How did that shape or influence your passion to what you're doing now?
Well, my dad, in many respects, is a hero of mine.
Okay.
We lost him during COVID, 3 weeks after his 99th birthday.
Oh,
The guy was amazing. He was the strongest human being I've ever met. He was a family man. He and my mom were married for 75 years.
wow.
He was dedicated until on his 98th birthday, he got his driver's license renewed for another 2 years, and he was still driving. But then a few months later, my mom passed, and at 95.
Okay.
And then my dad spiraled down and went into a home, and then 8 months later, he was gone.
So link that to what your experiences with your hero and your father. How did that influence the business?
Strength,
Okay.
resiliency,
Yeah.
a bit of stubbornness,
Sure. Sure.
passion,
Yeah.
family values, and he believed in people. He was a human guy, and that has always resonated with me as well. I believe in people. I believe in looking after people. I believe in the value of human beings and what we all bring to the table, regardless of race, creed, religion, political standing, whatever. It doesn't matter. People should come first.
And that, I've seen it translate in your business. And when you look at, first of all, people don't realize how exclusive these tours are. Okay, so that's the first part of it. You've created a business, and if I've got this correct, JD, confirm this for me. There's one tour per year in Canada.
That's correct.
And one tour per year in Australia.
One tour of each itinerary.
Got you.
Right, like we have a Maritimes itinerary,
Yeah.
and currently we have 2 itineraries in Western Canada.
Okay.
And we've got a 3rd itinerary in Western Canada coming online in September 2026, which is actually a ladies only tour.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a big market, so we're doing
And that's
that.
that part of that believing in people. It doesn't matter because generally speaking, biker tours have been a guys or dude thing. Now you've opened it up and you're creating that. One thing that I've learned about your business is the whole concept behind the brand, and I've written down a few keywords here: authenticity, acceptance, brotherhood. How have you infused these values into your brand?
Well, you're bang on. Inclusivity is of paramount importance to me and to our brand. And again, that goes back to the whole thing I said about my father, and human beings are the most important resource on the planet, really.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say in a world of social media and digital marketing and technology and all that, one of the things, I guess a good example to answer your question succinctly is, I get a lot of people that just want to communicate with me via email or text message. Yeah. And whenever I get an inquiry, the first thing I want to do, and the first thing I do, and this actually resonates in some of the video testimonials that we have, where they say, wow, JD picked up the phone and called me as soon as you got my email, and I heard his voice, and the real guy called me, the owner, right? And that's of paramount importance to me, is that human contact. So we get to know one another because we're going to spend anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks together. Yeah. So that's hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, the entrepreneurs and business owners that are watching this show will say, okay, how did you take these values into your brand? How did you market them? Now, what I just caught from what you said here, JD, is that you pick up the phone and you call after an email. That is not conventional marketing. That is the extras that will build the brand even further. And that touch that you actually care about the human being on the other end of that keyboard is so cool. Let's take it to what entrepreneurs are really asking about in a conventional way. How do you take your values and how do you market them to build your brand?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight.
For sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like this is our 3rd season right now, and the way things are going now and the feedback we're getting and the list of people that are already committing to our tours for next year, it looks like our 4th season is going to be our breakout season. Okay. And we're going to fill all our tours next year.
Nice.
And it's going to be like I said, the breakout year. To answer your question, it really is, it's about reinforcing the brand. It's reinforcing that messaging. It's about consistency. It's not about wavering. You know, I've had a lot of people approach me, digital companies, saying, I can help you with my website, and I can help you do this, and I can help you do that, and, you know, technology this, technology that. And I'm like, you know, I have a fellow that works for us. He's our guide in the Maritimes, and he's a retired Canadian Air Force helicopter navigator.
Yeah.
And he's one of the smartest individuals I've ever met. And
Okay.
he's a good friend, and he re-educated himself into digital marketing.
Okay.
And he and I do all the digital marketing. And since we started doing that a year and a half ago, it's gone like this.
Yeah.
Right, it's elevated our brand, it's elevated our messaging.
Right.
Things are really firing on all cylinders now. So I really don't think we need to do anything different. We have experimented with the different platforms out there: LinkedIn, Google Ads, Meta,
Right.
all that, and we know where we're getting traction.
Yep.
We know where to put our efforts, our time, and our money now. Right, so that's good. Every business needs to do that. Now it's about continuing that.
Yeah.
And continuing reinforcing our consistent messaging out there.
JD, I think one thing that people have to understand about your business, at least from when I see it, is that, yeah, you can market, you can spend some bunch of money on different ways, but you can't bring out authenticity unless you have it. And the authenticity that you have with your business really comes across from your customer feedback, the testimonials. There's a piece that you talk about throttle therapy. Mm-hmm. The amount of times I've heard people that have been on your tours talk about that, and for the life of me, didn't understand what cage-free meant. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a biker. Okay. Like, bicycle was the last time I got on two wheels. Okay, let's put it that way. And so, you know, I've got members on my team, and they just love going on their bike, and that's their jam. You know, like and I'm sure they can resonate with being cage free or throttle therapy. So why don't you break it down for me? What the hell does throttle therapy mean, and what does it feel like to be cage free?
Well, cage free is a simple explanation. If you're riding in a vehicle with doors and windows, you're in a cage.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're cage free. Done.
Okay.
Throttle therapy is actually a medical term that I discovered during the research for my graduate thesis. And there's a variety of definitions online about throttle therapy.
Okay.
And you know what? The most important thing about throttle therapy is its individual experience. It means different things to different people. But one of my favorite, I use this in my paper, one of my favorite definitions, and it's actually even on the website, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but it had something to do with throttle therapy. It gives you that same feeling as when you use illegal drugs, but without using illegal drugs, or something along those lines.
Okay.
Is what
Is it adrenaline? Like, is it an adrenaline rush?
No, I wouldn't call it adrenaline.
Okay.
No, it's more of a, let me explain it this way. When I ride,
Yeah.
I do some of my best critical thinking, whether I'm at the gym working out or whether I'm riding. I do, because what it does, you're so focused on what you're doing, because you have to be from a safety perspective,
Sure.
right? You're focused, and your senses are all alive. Like, you hear, you smell, you feel everything.
Gotcha.
Right, that's part of being cage free too, right?
Yeah.
And that, but it also, because you're focused, it allows the rest of your brain, the subconscious part of your brain, to focus on other things.
So give me an example of what the last time you had your version of throttle therapy. What was going on in your mind that brought it forward? Because I think a lot of business owners need to understand how you can bring what's in the back of your mind to the front. And I think a lot of your customers have to understand that this is an opportunity for them to experience this.
You can't make it happen. It just happens.
Shit. Okay.
And it's an individual experience. So I guess a good way to explain it from my perspective anyway, would be it would depend on what's important to me that day, what's going on in my mind that day, whether it be from a business perspective or on a personal level.
Sure.
You know, what's occupying my mind. When I'm relaxed and I'm writing and I'm focusing, and that back subconscious most active part of your brain, that 90%, right?
Yeah.
That's when things go, oh yeah, and solutions start to come out, and it's a
Did anybody see that look? That look right there. Hang on. Sorry, JD. I got to say this out loud. Okay. I have a member on my team. His name is Jason. He talks about his bike, and the same goddamn look comes out of Jason's face as JD just had right there. There is something about being part of this brotherhood community that brings out that look. You don't see it very often. And if you're going to actually get on the bike and be part of a tour, you're going to see this. Right now, behind the camera, Jason has the same look you have on right now.
Maybe I should patent it.
I think you should. Like, right. It is so cool when you brought that out because there is no other experience. And I've interviewed and worked with a lot of business owners. Mm-hmm. There is nothing from a consumer base that brings that look, that emotion, no matter where they are in the world, that they can just go through that experience and they can bring out that look. Now, I don't know how you patent it. I don't know how you bottle it and sell it.
I don't even know what it looks like, man, because I've never done it in front of a mirror.
Oh,
so I don't know.
When you get a chance to watch this, take this clip and look at your face.
Okay.
And just by talking about it and how you actually described it, it brings a smile to your face. It opens up your eyes. You lit up. That's the same thing that Jason or any other, rider that I've spoken to, when they talk about that, is that the whole part of the therapy part of it? Is that what kind of brings it all out?
Absolutely. Yeah. That is the core of it, I would say.
And so when you have these customers coming to your tours, are they the people who've gone through trauma that are looking for this, or they're just trying to get that look?
That's a good question. I would say it's a good mix. It's a good mix of people. It's a touchy subject to say to somebody, have you had any trauma in your life? Like, really, if they want to share when Carmen's doing video testimonials or whatever while we're on the tour, then they're more than welcome to, and some have.
And just for the audience, Carmen is who?
Carmen is my fiance.
Okay.
And Carmen is part owner of Freedom Biker Tours.
Look at that. So she's your boss. Just say it.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. She pulls my strings. That's right. And she is our in-house videographer, filmmaker, producer, all that kind of stuff too. So she creates all of our promotional videos.
Got you.
And all that too. And honestly, I credit her in the last couple of years for where we are now.
For sure.
With all that, helping with our marketing and all that. She's amazing.
You have a consulting business that you're working with, a hotel. Mm-hmm. You're a biker yourself. Mm-hmm. You're in a relationship with someone who's working with you in your business. Mm-hmm. And then you're on the tours. Mm-hmm. What's that, 5, 6 hats? Forget about the other hats that you have to wear as a business owner. So now what? You're at what, 30?
I don't know. If I count them, it scares me. So I try not to do that.
Forget the hats. Let's talk about plates. You're spinning 30 different plates at the same time. From a guy who's accustomed to riding 2 wheels to spinning 30 plates, how the hell do you do it?
I'm really organized.
Yeah?
Yeah. But, I do have to give a little bit of a plug from years ago when I was younger. I worked for a hotel chain.
Okay.
And they had, 30 properties or something in their chain. And I managed a particular market segment for all those hotels.
Gotcha.
So I really am going to credit them for helping me learn how to do that.
So they created structure for you. Is that what you're saying?
No, I created the structure.
Okay.
They just said, here's your job, do it.
They gave you the opportunity to create the structure.
I had to figure out how to do it properly, right? And I did it. And
so giving them kudos. Talk about yourself here, man. Honestly. So you got structure. That means you've built a process.
Right.
It's repeatable. Mm-hmm. Sustainable.
Yep.
You can spin 30 plates.
Yep.
There's your big piece of advice to any business owner right there. Just build a process that you can spin 30 plates at the same time.
Yeah, and it has to be a personal process too.
Absolutely.
And you have to be passionate about what you're doing, you know, and I don't want to dismiss education as well.
For sure.
Because I have 3 post-secondary educational accreditations, right, including a graduate degree.
Right.
I think they all come together.
Sure.
And I'm at a point now in my life where everything I've done in the last 40 years has, you know, I used to be a DJ too, right?
Okay.
And all that.
You got the voice for it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I used to do that and that. And it's all come together.
When you look at your vision, and let's kind of narrow it down to the next 3 years. What's the vision for the next 3 years? Because when I speak to business owners and entrepreneurs and I say, what's your vision? They look out 30 years out in the future or longer. I want to narrow it down to a shorter term so people can really grasp what you're trying to accomplish. So in the next 3 years, what's the vision?
Keep defining the brand consistently.
Yeah.
Right? If it needs defining, I'm not sure if it does. I actually...
It'll be defined for you.
Right.
Your customers will define your brand
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely they do. And actually, just to put a plug in for a friend of ours just wrote a book recently, and he really helped earlier this year. He gave us a pre-published copy of the book.
Yeah.
And Carmen and I both read it, and I was like, wow. And I actually put some thought into our vision and purpose and mission statements and the brand, and it elevated us to another level. It's called Brand Jitsu.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Michael Dargy. He's a local Calgary guy.
Yeah.
And
So what do you want your customer to feel or experience right when they get off that bike from that tour?
I want them to be, what's the word? Like after sex, satiated? Is that the right word? That kind of feeling?
We went from illegal narcotics to sex.
Right.
So you only get on this kind of a show, right?
Well, riding motorcycles is kind of like sex. You know what I mean? It gives you that same sort of reward. That's the point I'm trying to make, right?
Gotcha.
If someone had to ask me, you know, are there 2 activities in your life that make you feel that way? I would say, yeah, sex and riding motorcycles. I'm good, right? But yeah, I want people to feel. I would hope people will take that breath and go, oh, yeah. You know, like, you know, I want to have a cigarette kind of thing.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
And that, even though I don't smoke.
Yeah.
But I think you know what I mean, right?
I do.
Yeah,
I
right.
do.
And want to do again, and want to feel comfortable about, you know, they got their money's worth. They got the value that we advertise in our brand that they're going to get. I really hope that people will say, yeah, I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
I got the value.
When you look at all the years that you've been doing this, and most people don't right off the bat know that you've been in the hospitality and hotel business for how many years?
That's not fair, man, because then people are going to know how old I am.
It's okay. You can level with me. I'm old, so you can just level with me.
Okay, I'll say 40 years.
40 years. You're
Travel, tourism, hospitality. I've done everything.
in my home city, and you're working on a hotel out of the mountains in Banff.
Correct.
Feel free to plug the name so people can actually.
It's the former High Country Inn in Banff, but it just opened a couple of months ago, completely renovated, rebranded as the Kenrick Hotel.
Yeah.
It is the most upscale boutique hotel in Banff. And it's amazing. It's a family-owned. They're amazing people. I've been with them since 2010, so 15 years now.
And so building the brand of a hotel, building a business like the tours that you have, require some foresight, but the ability to execute on that foresight. So using the 2 businesses, how do you actually, create a foresight and then execute on it? What's the step-by-step you can kind of break down for me?
Wow. That's like a 6-beer question.
Okay.
You know, I always say when someone asks me something like that, that's a big question.
Tune in for the 6-beer conversation, I guess, then, right?
There's a lot of trial and error.
Sure.
Okay. There's a lot of life experiences built into that. There's a lot of research, you know, built into it as well, right? I mean, with all due respect to entrepreneurs out there, I'm not sure if there's any entrepreneur that knows exactly what they want and what their brand is going to be right from the get-go.
Right.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
100% right.
You've got a passion, you've got an idea, you've done some research, and then it unfolds over time. It might be a short period of time.
Yeah.
It might be a long period of time, but it does unfold over time. Like the Freedom Biker Tours brand is still growing.
Yeah.
It's still developing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're well on our way.
Yeah.
But I'm entirely open to massaging it a little bit if need be. Right.
I've always said that entrepreneurs and business owners, no one can do this by themselves. There's always people who help you along the way in many different ways. If you look back at the people who've helped you build what you've built, what's the one best piece of advice you've received?
Oh, wow. Because there's been a lot. I worked for some pretty incredible entrepreneurs over the years.
It's hard,
mentors.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is really hard.
What's the one nugget you can leave with me, man?
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Fucking A.
Don't quit. Yeah.
After going through 2 major accidents, getting back on the bike, building a tour, 40 years in the hospitality and hotel industry, of course you don't quit. Yeah. Like that's something that's so cool about, and so when your customers go through this and they see that you've gone through all this, first of all, do you share your personal story of your trauma and how you got on this bike tour? Like, do you actually share that with them?
Not openly, like not on the internet or anything like that, or on social media. But that's a very good question.
So let
Can I think about that for a while?
Oh, for sure. Like, it was rhetorical and anything. Like, but what I think the reason why I'm bringing that up is because one thing about bikers is the first thing they look for is safety. Of course, there's stupid drivers and cars out there. There's a lot of danger out there, and so someone who's gone through what you've gone through can come out and say, "Hey, look, I've gone through 2 traumatic experiences just when it comes to a vehicle." Mm-hmm. Forget about anything else in your life, okay? When I put these tours out, I've gone through what the shit can go wrong. Mm-hmm. So that kind of gives some comfort off the get-go. Then the second part of this is I know what you're worried about. I've been there. And I think when you actually ask your customers who know your story, they'll go, that was the peace of mind that I got out of it. And for the people who don't know your story, we'll be able to say, hey, here's my thoughts, and this is why I want that throttle therapy. That's why I want to be part of this tour. So I think it's really cool what you're going through. I love the piece of advice of don't quit. It's absolutely very important. And I want to thank you for joining me on the Carmeli Exchange.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Nothing
you
but
to start
success
riding,
for
man.
you. Oh, yeah.
And come on one of our tours. Come down to Australia.
I'm chicken, man.
Really?
This is as aggressive as I get wearing a jacket. Yeah, I'm chicken.
Motorcycling.
I'll leave my high risk of the stock market.
Motorcycling is not about aggressiveness. That's it, right?
But I'm chicken.
I would submit that going on a group tour with motorcycles is safer than riding alone.
I bet you.
Because you're under our control. Yeah. You know, we have a guide at the front. Sometimes we have a guide at the back. We have a support vehicle at the very back.
Yeah.
You know, we know how to manipulate the group in and out of certain situations, right? And every morning we have a briefing about what's happening today and what you need to do. And
do your customers know that? Like when most of them people who've already been on other tours, or are they rookies? Like,
no. There has to be a minimum of 1 year riding experience, and we vet their licensing too. I want to see what their license is and all that. We have a conversation. That's another reason why I like the human-to-human contact, and not just book through the internet and off we go kind of thing. I want to talk to these people. Yeah. And I talk to every single one, someone who wants to. You're not
renting a boat in Kelowna's lake. You're actually.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Absolutely.
JD, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Carmeli Exchange. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. You can also follow me on social media at Faisal Carmeli, where we can continue the business conversation.